extremely sad tale. You've suffered so much just for telling the truth about one of a rogue nation's nuclear program.
Well, you know, that's partially true, but that's the story. But really, my primary sin was not telling the truth, although I did. Um, the primary sin, because as I've tried to explain, um, people in the executive branch, they withhold the truth from Congress and lie all the time. you know, when you're talking about top secret intelligence, Congress doesn't always know that they're not being told the truth. You understand? Right? My primary sin was getting people arrested because then the truth comes out. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And that is if this was just about me, we wouldn't be here right now. But what happened to me is emblematic of our government's handling of AQ Khan and Pakistan's nuclear program, because not only did they shut down from doing anything about that in 1988, 87, 88, they did nothing for the next 20, 24 years, during which period, as I predicted, it was always very clear that while Pakistan's primary motive for developing nuclear weapons was to counter India, for sure. But it was also very clear from AQ Khan and the general's perspective, it was not just the Pakistani bomb, it was the Islamic bomb, the Muslim bomb. I mean, you can see. I mean, I think AQ Khan was even quoted once as saying, well, we've got the Christian bomb, we've got the Jewish bomb, the Hindu bomb, we need a Muslim bomb. And it was very clear to me that Pakistan intended to provide nuclear weapons technology to other Muslim countries, which is what happened, you know. And,
And
it wasn't until,
this is towards the concluding section of this broadcast that we're talking to each other. General Baig, who took over after General Zia's crash that happened, did go to Iran, and when he came back, he did mention that they were sort of brothers in a way. And your point about an Islamic bomb, I guess it's even more relevant now because there is renewed interest in Iran's nuclear program that President Trump has claimed is after he bombed it that it's not it's been set back. But tell me, how closely linked is Iran's nuclear program to Pakistani nuclear technology or AQ Khan
oh,
proliferated technology?
I mean, in my opinion, there is no way that Iran could ever have developed gas centrifuges without the centrifuges that Khan and Pakistan provided them, in the early 1990s, along probably with nuclear weapons plants. I mean, let me put it this way. At the very least, it might have been impossible, I think. Like I said, this is very difficult. Making gas centrifuges and nuclear weapons is no small undertaking. It knocked at the very least decades, many decades off of the Iranian nuclear program. Yeah. I think now it looks to me, remember, I'm out of it for years. I don't have any access to intelligence, but the Iranian program is now quite advanced in terms of their gas centrifuges.
Right.
They've done a lot of work on their own, but they never could have gotten started without Pakistan's help.
In the book Fallout by Douglas France and Catherine Collins, they talked about the other side of the CIA, the DO that went ahead and
The
busted AQ.
DO,
Yeah, they busted AQ Khan and his network. Apart from the P1, P2 sort of centrifuge technology. They also found G4, which was a more advanced form of the centrifuge.
Pakistani.
Yeah, Pakistani centrifuges. But they also found blueprints of Chinese warheads, of Pakistani warheads, also in AQ Khan's document seizure. So tell me, how, like, what kind of technology do you think was passed on to Iran or North Korea by this network of AQ Khan, which I believe was actively supported by the Pakistani deep state?
What do you think was passed? I
Yes.
mean,
What kind of
clear,
technology was passed to
clearly
Iran
you just described what was passed. Advanced Pakistani nuclear weapons designs,
Yeah.
advanced Pakistani centrifuges, you know.
Did you also
I
come
mean,
across the same intelligence when you were there?
no, because I was no longer there when this happened.
Right.
I can just speak personally. I was not aware of any evidence that Pakistan had let me backtrack. I was extremely concerned that this is what was going to happen from day one. Okay, that this was the intent of AQ Khan, General Beg, etc. Right, but I had no evidence that they had actually done it by the time I was removed from that equation in 1989.
This happened after that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen references in the media that the first couple of centrifuge transfers took place in 1987. I was not aware of that. That's all I can tell you. I don't know where they got that information, but the, even in the books, I mean, the vast majority of it happened in the 1990s, the early 1990s. And while I was in the intelligence community working for the FBI, that was not my area of responsibility anymore. The kind of things, the kind of intelligence, hard target stuff that I did for the FBI, it had to have a US nexus to it, if you understand. It's
Yes.
different than the CIA. So I wouldn't have been following that part, you know, in general.
You know, you
But
paid.
years later, I was certainly aware of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Years later, sure.
In conclusion, Mr. Barlow, so you've obviously paid a very heavy price for the nature of the work that you did, exposing Pakistan's nuclear trade and other assorted activities. What what lessons do you think us in South Asia over here should learn about what you went through, the way the United States functions, and the almost constant Pakistani nuclear blackmail that this region has to face?
Well, I mean, I think the lesson for all of us is that it was too little, too late. We should have dealt with this back in the 1980s before. I mean, the bust of Khan is kind of a joke. I mean, you bust Khan after he's transferred top secret centrifuges and nuclear weapons plan to some of the most dangerous states in the world. I mean, it was too late, you know. I mean, sure, they stopped the Libyan thing, but I doubt that the Libyans could have done much with what they received from him anyway. But in terms of the current situation in South Asia, I mean, I think certainly the greatest fear in Washington is that the wrong people take control in Pakistan. That's a huge fear in Washington. Yep. And if that happens, all bets are off.